Hey everybody, welcome to the Stuff I Never Knew Trivia Game Show podcast. I'm Jeff, I'm your host. We are on the Armstrong Neighborhood channel. I've got 3 great guests. Let's hear that theme music.
That is correct. You are correct. You are wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong. You are right. That is correct.
All right, I've got 3 great guests joining me tonight. Glen, Jeff, and Deadair Dennis. Welcome to the show. And as you know, on this show, we get right into it. We're going into round 1 tonight, and we're going to play a very fun game. I'm going to give you a political figure or a pro wrestler or both. So I'm going to give you three initials. You have to tell me, do those initials belong to a political figure, to a pro wrestler, or both? So here we go. We're going to Glen first. Oh, well, here's an example. For example, if I say
I know this one.
is that a wrestler or a political figure? Oh, you got it right. It was a political figure. Nice work. Let's go to Glen.
I feel like I nailed it.
Glen, HBK. Is that a pro wrestler or political figure or both?
I'm trying to think. Hulk Bogan K. Oh man, I can't think of either. I don't know anything about professional wrestling other than Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. And I'm going to say it's a political figure, but I don't know what one.
Political figure is incorrect. It's the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Over to Jeff. MJF. Is that a pro wrestler or a political figure?
That is both.
Both is incorrect. It's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, the old most popular wrestler. And to Deadair Dennis, RFK.
Oh, RFK is definitely. I think I gave this away earlier when I was like, I'm from Mass at Tool Sits, but that would be RFK would be a politician.
You are the only contestant tonight I've provided the questions in advance. That is correct. Robert F. Kennedy is politics. EC3 to Glen.
That's a Star Wars droid.
Is it a political figure, a wrestler, or a droid?
I gotta say political. I'm gonna assume the 3 is a third, so I'm gonna say it's a political figure.
Well, I'll give you 1/3 of a point. It's a pro wrestler, Ethan Carter III.
It's not not the first time my night's been ruined by Ethan Carter III.
To Jeff, RVD.
See,
Pro wrestler or underwear brand?
I know a DVD.
DVD, yeah.
No, RDJ.
I know that one. I mean, everyone's a wrestler, so I'm going to go wrestler.
Rob Van Dam is correct.
Everyone's a wrestler when they need to be, you know. Like you put any one of us in a ring, we're a wrestler now.
All right, Jeff's gonna love this question for Dennis. LBJ is.
Oh my God, is that?
I think we're supposed to be clean. I feel like the last 2 were going against the clean, keeping it clean, but that would be politics because that is Lyndon B. Johnson, whose middle name is just the letter B.
Or both. It is. LBJ is correct. All right, last one for each of you. I guarantee Glen knows this one. He's been thinking about the whole game. Like, why haven't I seen this one yet? JYD, is that a political figure or a wrestler? Or both?
I'll say wrestler. I'm just throwing darts at this point.
It's the one of the most famous, the Junkyard Dog. Let's go to MTG to Jeff.
That's that is a politician.
Politician is.
Unless Magic the Gathering is part of it.
Magic the Gathering. Or board game. That's correct.
The funny thing is, that's the one I wrote down. I'm right. This one I know.
You're gonna love this one for Dennis.
I'm really concerned if Marjorie Taylor Greene was the politician.
Oh my God! What is it? Why don't you just write out Biden? Hey, Deadair Dennis, how about Biden? What do you think about Biden?
I feel like this is also a band name because isn't there a red, blue, gold band out there?
Red Hot Billy Billy
Red
Goats.
Hot Billy
Red Hot
Goats.
Billy Goats. Yeah.
Red Hot Belly Goats. I'm
Hit
you know,
song Under
I
the Bridge.
feel like there's going to be a trick at some point coming where the obvious one of politics is also going to be a both. So I'm not going to take that chance yet. Because I know that's going to be coming up. And right now I'm going to go, it's the last one of the round. I'm still going politics.
Just politics?
I'm going to just
Final
stay
answer?
with politics and go with, we'll go with both politics and politics.
Politics and politics is correct. So let's go to that scoreboard. We have Jeff in second with 2, Dennis with 3, and Glenn with 1. We're going to the second round. All right, we're putting Glenn in the hot seat. Glenn, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit about what you do out in Jersey, and how can people connect with you if they want to find out more?
Sure. I'm a stand-up comedian. If you want to find me online, just look for @GlenTickle on all the social medias that aren't run by insane billionaires, just regular kind of evil ones. And I have a new special out called Glen Tickle Against the World Crime League that is up on my YouTube channel right now.
Very good. I'll put all those links in the show notes.
Thank you.
Are you ready for the hot seat?
Yeah.
All right. So
I was, and then the music. Now I'm questioning it if I am ready.
That was like an Uno reverse.
Yeah.
So each of my guests will get one question from each of these 3 categories: 90s television, name the coffee company, measurements plus, an ice cold name 5. When name 5 is a very generic category, like name 5 spices in my spice cabinet, or name 5 politicians with 3-letter initials. It will go, we'll give you, put 10 seconds on the clock. You'll be fine. Trust me. Let's go to that first question. 90s television for Glenn. In The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, what is the name of either Will's wealthy aunt or uncle with whom
it's
he
Aunt
lives?
Viv and Uncle Phil.
You got both. I only needed one, and I didn't need to hit the button. Aunt Vivian or Uncle Phil is correct.
Yeah.
Our second
category, I'm confident in.
You ready for this one?
TV, I'll do that all day.
Good to the last drop. What coffee company has that slogan?
Is it Maxwell House?
Maxwell House is correct.
Nice.
All right. How many cups are in a pint?
Look, we need to switch to the metric system. This is ridiculous. I'll say 4, but not confidently.
4 unconfident cups in a pint is incorrect. It's 2 cups in a pint. So your name 5 bonus question, I'll put 10 seconds on the clock. Once I read it for you, you have to put 5 things into this category. Name 5 sports played in the Winter Olympics, and go.
Ice hockey, curling, the biathlon where they shoot things in ski, long ski jump, figure skating.
I got 4 at the buzzer, 4 out of 5. Not a bad round, Glenn. We're gonna go to Jeff. Jeff, welcome to the show.
That was amazing, Glenn. Glenn
Thank
forgot
you.
to mention his favorite podcast that he's been on recently, but whatever. It's okay.
It was a good one.
Do you know anything about this podcast? I always thought you should have a podcast, Jeff.
You should get into it. Give it a shot.
I do. I have a podcast. My latest guest is Glen Tickle, who has a YouTube special out, Glen Tickle Against the World Crime Organization. Check out our conversation. It's a lot of fun. And check out Glen's comedy. He's hilarious. He's really, really funny. So
very nice. And if I wanted to add links under your description in the show notes, where would I direct people to come see you, Jeff?
The easiest thing is jeffisfunny.com or stampede.social, which is a revolutionary tool I developed for creators to help them on Instagram.
It's a very impressive product. I've had a demo of it. At least check it out. If you're not sure, check it out. Stampede.social is the web address, and all those links will be in the show notes. Jeff, are you ready for the hot seat?
And Viv.
Let's see. Is that correct? The first question tonight, your 90s television question. What 90s sitcom features
Murphy Brown,
news anchor played by Candace Bergen? Murphy Brown is correct. Correct.
And Viv would have been my second choice. Folgers in your cup.
The best part of waking up is blank in your cup. Folgers
in your cup.
Correct. Maxwell House. I must have not put the right answer in there.
It is Folgers. It's Folgers.
It is
isn't it?
Folgers is correct, but I mess up
Okay.
sometimes. He makes me do all this work. You wait to see how much I do in the third round.
Oh,
And
yeah.
our third question: how many teaspoons are in a tablespoon?
It's either 30 or 3. Probably 3.
Or 33?
Yeah.
You're going with 3?
Yeah. It's
3 is correct. 3 teaspoons. And your 5-point bonus question, 10 seconds on the clock. Name 5 pieces of clothing worn in cold weather and go.
Sweater, hat, scarf, gloves, long underwear. Isn't that 5?
It is 5. You got all 5. We would have accepted anything. You could wear a bathing suit
Yeah,
or
you can just wear whatever you want.
How-
There's no law.
How was that fair to Glenn? When mine, I could have just said, I don't know, a pashmina, and
Pants,
you've been
a
like,
shirt.
yeah. And then Glenn had to be
And-
very specific with winter sports in an
Hey,
Olympics.
that's the
But
way
Jeff's
this
like,
game-
just name anything that goes on.
Just name
Anything
5
at
things
all.
around your office.
On-
Just whatever
on
you want.
Our last episode, I had name 5 fingers used to make a turkey handprint finger. So, anyway, very well played round. Let's go to Deadair. Dennis, welcome to the show.
Hello. Welcome to the show that I've already been on for 17 and a half minutes. Excellent. Thank you for having me.
Oh, don't worry. We'll cut about half of that so far. But Dennis, welcome to the show. Where are you calling in from?
I am currently calling in from Boston, Massachusetts, which is where I live, and it is not where I'm from. I don't want people to think that I was born and raised in this town that is almost as bad as New Jersey.
Wow. If you were ranking the worst
I was
town-
going to agree with you, but now you're on your own. It's like, yeah, I also would want people to think I'm from Boston.
Well,
Glenn, if his 90s
Originally from
question-
Baltimore, Maryland, which means my knees are bad from ducking bullets my entire life.
That checks.
I speak for
And-
Glenn and I, by the way. If his 90s question is who was the star of the Drew Carey show, Glenn and I are walking right out the door. I'm just going to tell you
Ours,
that right now.
the 90s ones were pretty easy so far. For
Producer, can
everybody.
you change the third question? Glenn, tell us a little bit about the Boston scene, what you're doing up there, and how can we
No.
connect with you?
I moved here 10 years ago. I am a stand-up comedian and an actor and a podcaster. I also host a podcast like many other white guys with too many opinions. I have a podcast called So What Do You Really Do, where I interview artists and entertainers about their day jobs, talking about the stuff that we have to do during the day to support what we want to do at night. You can find it everywhere podcasts are potted and on the Big Comedy Network.
Very nice. I'll put those links in the show note. Dennis, are you ready for the hot
Oh,
seat?
excuse me. That was the thing. Yes, let's
All right. Our 90s Drew Carey sitcom question. Who is the star of the Drew Carey show?
We're outta
who
here.
is
I'm genuinely just impressed you got the graphic up that quick.
I'm going to say Dietrich Bader. No, obviously it's Drew Carey.
Here's the real question. Sometimes word can be funny. On The Nanny, who plays the flashy girl from Flushing named Fran Fine, who ends up working for a Broadway producer in his upscale Manhattan home?
I'm going to assume that it is the current head of the SAG-AFTRA union who is apparently trying to convince people that she's the one fighting the android apocalypse, and that would be Fran Dresser.
Fran is correct.
I believe it's Fran Drescher. Glenn and I would like to
Yeah.
argue that he actually said the wrong name.
And half
Did
of
not-
it was in the clue.
We'll
Yeah.
give 2 points to Dennis. Our second clue: taste as good as it smells. What coffee brand is?
I thought that was the tagline to Jeff's podcast.
Yeah, that's
It should be.
This was the one I was dreading because you know what? I don't drink coffee. I'm gonna have to say Starbucks. I got no idea.
I know how much you guys love when the answer's in the question. It tasters.
Drew Carey, hey!
Drew
Tasters
Carey.
Man.
coffee. Tasters.
is there
a
no
coffee?
industry Drew Carey doesn't have his dirty little fingers in?
Yeah,
That guy's
there's
everywhere.
It's
Taster's
Taster's Choice.
Choice.
Taster's
Hey, the only
Choice.
thing he doesn't have his fingers in is spaying and neutering pets. He lets
Oh.
that up to the professionals.
And our name 5 bonus question. 10 seconds on the clock. Dennis. Wait, give me a wave. Oh, wait. We have a measurements question coming up next. If you have 3 cups, how many fluid ounces do you have?
That would be 24 ounces.
Wow, 24 ounces. No hesitation is correct. I even did the math for you. 8 fluid ounces in a cup times 3.
8 fluid ounces in a cup, which means there's 16 ounces to a pint, to an earlier question. Okay, which is made up of 2 cups. All right, we're reviewing. Remember that? Okay.
Yeah, we'll take away a point for mansplaining the previous question. And I
mansplained to 3 other men.
Whatever clue. I don't know. I've lost control of the show already. Our name 5 bonus for Dennis. Name 5 popular winter holiday songs or carols, and go.
There is Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. There is the Christmas song. There is Jingle Bells. There is Oh Bethlehem and Silent Night.
Name 5 or associate 5 songs. You got 5 for 5. Put those points on the board for Dennis. We have Jeff and Dennis tied with 10, Glenn with 7. We're going to go to that final round. In this round, it's a video round. I'm going to play a very vague question. Who am I? What am I? Where am I? And then I'm going to start to read a series of 3 clues. I've asked each of my guests to bring in their own buzzers. And when you hear the first clue and you think you know the answer, you can buzz in. And if you get it right, that's worth 3 points. The second clue is worth 2 points. And the last clue is worth 1 point. Buzz in and get it right, you're going to earn those points. If you get it wrong, though, we're going to subtract those points from the total. So let's go around. Let's hear Jeff's buzzer first. You got the squeaky dog toy to Dennis. Boom and boom, and to Glenn. He's got the kids' keyboard.
It's a koala counting computer.
Oh, he's got the counting koala. It's very a spinoff from the Counting Crows. Let's go to that first
side project.
Our first video clue tonight. Buzz in when you think you know it. What am I? Am I Uncle? Jeff.
That is the cake from Back to the Future. For the
now the producer doesn't allow me to accept pre-guesses on the first clue, just because my pictures may not always match the clues. So that was a freebie. So I am not Uncle Jeroboam Joey's cake, but what am I? IRL. My name comes from the French word cry, meaning chalk, and ochre, meaning earth, or ochre.
What is charcoal?
Dennis, charcoal is incorrect. That'll cost you 3 points. And you'll see on the right side, there's a little timer, let you know how much time's left on that clue. Our second clue for 2 points. The longest one of me ever produced was 15 feet long and 16 inches in diameter. Oh, I heard Glenn.
Bird. You're a bird.
Am I a bird? I am not a bird. That'll cost you 3 points.
Is no one impressed? I knew what the cake was.
No, I'm mad that I didn't ring in before you.
Some of my colors include magic mint, lemon yellow, and mulberry.
Do I get to buzz in again?
To what?
Is it candles?
Candles is incorrect, and you can buzz in. You can keep buzzing in if you'd like. There's no limit to how many times you can buzz in. We're looking for crayons. You're very close on that one. Crayons.
I am very close to the home of Crayola, and I feel like they're going to be mad at me for not getting that faster.
Well, maybe you'll get this one. Where am I? Where am I? The city and surrounding areas are a major hub for the tech industry.
Boston?
Glenn did.
Oh, wait. Glenn?
That's Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh is incorrect.
No, the first picture was Pittsburgh.
And so was the second.
I don't understand this game.
Our second clue. Our second clue for 2 points is about to play here. My most iconic landmark was built in 1962 for the World's Fair. This is Glenn.
That's Seattle.
Seattle is correct. Yeah, the pictures may or may not represent the actual answer.
I believe the correct answer is Seattle, Washington.
Well, I'm just looking for a where.
Well, without the comma, that is very different.
Which other Seattle?
Name
Built something for the World's Fair in 1962.
Well, who am I? My origins can be traced back to a Christian bishop who lived in the 4th century in Myra, aka, as I call it, modern day Turkey.
I'm losing,
Glenn.
so I'm taking broad swings here. I'm going to say Santa Claus.
Santa Claus with the broad swing is correct.
Oh, wow.
Correct.
Wow.
Big
Catholic
swing,
school,
Glenn.
that's like Catholic school upbringing, baby.
Yeah. Our fourth clue. What food item am I? I'm looking for a food item. The process to make me dates back over 4,000 years.
That was an accident. That was not me really ringing in.
Oh, wasn't it? Our second clue. I rely on a mixture of wild yeast and lactic acid bacteria for fermentation.
What is
That
bread?
is, Dennis.
What is bread?
Bread, more specific.
Bread.
Did you- what, more? Can you be more
No,
specific?
I didn't freeze. I just don't have any more specific answer than bread. All right, a bagel.
A bagel is. Oh, David's gonna give it to you. I'm gonna question this one. It's sourdough because it doesn't match the last clue. But anyway,
No, but well, to be fair,
we have to cut 5 minutes out anyway, so we'll be good.
I forget the word for it. Sourdough had to get tagged on way later than the history of bread because for like thousands of years, that's just how they did it. And then when yeast got like industrialized, then we just got like this idea of white bread, and then sourdough bread got the neologism. Is that what it's called? Where it's like it had to get tacked on as a descriptive, like acoustic guitar, like before electric guitars, those were just guitars.
I don't know Bill Nye. I mean, this is like.
All right, listen here, Pillsbury Glen. Thank you for explaining bread to us.
Anyone could have said bread.
Sourdough.
Yeah.
That's like saying stuff that goes in fridges.
Yeah.
I mean,
Put your bread in the fridge, you animal.
All right, we got 6 more to get through. Well, I'm looking for an American business. Which American business am I?
Okay, 6 more.
My original name was Cadabra. My original name was Cadabra.
I want so many joke answers, but I don't want to lose points.
I began in the garage of my owner in 1994. Dennis.
Oh crap! I was going to say
Crayola.
Apple, but that was long before 1994. So I'm going to go with. Wait, I'm going to go with. Microsoft.
Microsoft is.
Yeah, I think that might be right.
Incorrect. Jeff.
I was gonna say Microsoft, but since that's wrong, I'm gonna say Amazon.
Amazon is correct.
Wow.
It is Amazon.com. 5 questions remaining. We're going to a what? What am I?
A lady.
For a
Oh, what is a person that a type of person that's not on the show?
In January 2010, I had 43% market share.
Of what?
What
Of
is
the
Glen
market.
Tickle's new comedy special?
By 2013, I had less than 6%, and by 2016, nearly 0% market share
Well,
of the market.
just all.
What
the
is
market.
BlackBerry?
Dennis swinging for the fences is correct. Correct.
See the movie starring Glenn Howard in. It's very good.
And you could excel at this show. We're going to question number 7. What American icon am I? I'm looking for an
I
American
ask myself this
icon.
every morning.
My cost is used as an index as a semi-humorous way to compare purchasing power parity between different countries. What? Our second clue for 2 points. I was first created in Uniontown, Pennsylvania in 1967.
This is
Hands on your buzzer.
No,
Our third clue. I am 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. I heard dog toy.
Big Mac.
Big Mac for a point is correct. 3 questions remaining.
Big Mac, fillet of fish, quarter pound of French fries.
I love how American
steak,
icon is
steak, and
heart disease.
chess.
Just well, let's find out. What board game am I? You can pre-guess now for 4 points. I was created in 1903 by Elizabeth Maggie. 2, Glenn.
Monopoly.
Monopoly. No joke. Glenn is correct.
Dude, that's impressive.
Originally created as the
remaining.
landlord game.
2 questions remaining. Let's go to that scoreboard real quick because we have 6 points remaining. Jeff has 13. Glenn has 10. And Dennis is still in it mathematically if he sweeps the last 2. Let's go to that 9th question. Which famous sunken boat am I? I'm looking for a famous sunken boat. I am not the Titanic. I'm not the Titanic.
Well, it's not the USS Constitution.
We'll go with Jeff.
Edmund Fitzgerald.
Let's go to the last clues. Let's let the clues play out. It is the Edmund Fitzgerald. Because I'm not those ships. And then I actually had the lyrics in there, which would have been fun. With a crew and a good captain, well seasoned. That's the Edmund Fitzgerald. That whole
I was ready to go Lusitania. I was waiting.
And
for
our
another
final irrelevant clue of the night says Jeff has the victory. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Am I that guy? Am I a Big Mac? Would I do 2 Big Macs on one show? I was born in 1976 in Sharpsburg, Pennsylvania.
I'm sure a lot of people were.
A lot of people. To this day, I still talk about the rolls my Aunt Bean brought to family functions. No, our third
Her
clue.
name is Aunt Bean.
Our third clue for 1 point. I am literally reading this to you.
Who is our host?
That's my friend Jeff.
I think I heard Dennis first.
Who is the host, Jeff?
That's me. Look at, I even got a quote. That is correct for 1 point, but it won't change the outcome. It looks like Jeff is going to walk away with the victory tonight.
$1 million.
With an
We have
impressive
time
lead,
to
no
go
less.
around real quick. One last plug, promote. We'll start with Dennis.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. You can find everything related to me, to my comedy, my podcast, and my YouTube show called Word of the Day with Comedians. The podcast called So What Do You Really Do? All of that stuff and all the dates where I'll be performing comedy are all found at deadairdennis.com. DeairDennis.com. Deadairdennis.com.
Deadairdennis.com. Over to Glenn.
You can watch my new comedy special, Glen Tickle Against the World Crime League, on YouTube, or just go to glentickle.com for links for everything else that I do. Like, I put up a cool yo-yo video right before this. I'm very impressed with myself.
Very nice. And we'll put those in the show notes. And the man who always make me address him as champion from now on, Jeff.
El Jefe, if you don't mind.
He's earned it. I think he's earned it.
Jeff Dwoskin on Instagram, Jeff Dwoskin Show. You can go there. You can see pictures of Glen Tickle. Comment #Tickle. You'll get a DM with a link to the episode. Stampede.social, jeffisfunny.com. That's it. I do my podcast and talk to famous people, whatever. I do it so you don't have to. I take the burden off of you. I'm talking to famous people. Oh, and Glenn. And I talk to Glenn.
I was going to make that joke, but I didn't want to interrupt your plug.
I'll interrupt with that theme song. Let's dance our way out of here.
Woo.
It is a good
Also,
theme
you can
song.
hear me in the most recent episode of Doug Love Movie shouting from the audience.